Catherine Stone from Barbas Law is back for this week's Know Your Rights segment. Today, we're talking Social Security disability and how your age affects your entitlement to disability benefits. Welcome back, Catherine. That is a mouthful right there.
Yes, it is.
But I'm assuming there's a lot of information
Correct.
that you want to share as well.
So there's what we call the five-step sequential process in Social Security disability when they determine whether or not someone should be entitled to benefits. I'm not talking about retirement. I'm not talking about supplemental income, which is a need-based, someone who's fallen below the poverty level. I am talking about disability. So the first thing that they're going to look at is, what is your medical condition? What are your limitations, and what is precluding you, or that you believe is precluding you from returning to work? The first thing that they always look at is, okay, what jobs have you done in the past? And with these restrictions and limitations and medical conditions, can you go back to doing that kind of job? An example would be someone who's always done like roofing or heavy lifting, then they have a back injury and they have surgery and they can no longer lift more than 20 pounds. They can't go back to being a roofer. They can't go back to being that heavy type job. So the first question the judges will look at is, can you return to what we call your past relevant work? And if the answer is no, then they look at, you start with your age. And there's three categories. There's anyone from the age 18 to 49.
That's a big gap. Correct. There.
So if you cannot return to your past relevant work and you have no transferable skills, which is a whole nother issue that they deal with in Social Security, they look to see, do your restrictions and limitations preclude you from even being able to do a desk job? You may have never done a desk job before in your life. You may have been a roofer or laying concrete or whatever, but if you were 49 or under, they are going to look and see whether or not you have the transferable skills to be able to transition into a sedentary type position. And that's just sitting at a desk. And the younger you are, the harder it is to prove disability because they anticipate that everyone can learn how to answer a phone.
I wondered if that's what you were getting to, so I'm glad you kind of confirmed that.
So then the next level is age 50 to 55. And those are what we call advancing in age. Okay, they only have to prove, when you get to that prong, they only have to prove that they can't do light duty work, which is lifting up to 20 pounds. And so it's a little bit more heavy.
So the desk job wouldn't be a factor.
So even if they can do a desk job, but they can't lift up to 20 pounds or more than up to 20 pounds, they will qualify for benefits. So it gets easier the older you get. And then 55 and above, you have to prove you can't do medium level job, which is basically a lift up to 50 pounds. And so, you know, obviously you can be a secretary, a paralegal who has been a paralegal her whole life, but if we're able to prove that she can no longer go back to being a paralegal, but we can also prove that she can't lift up to 50 pounds, she could potentially qualify. So I say this because I often get phone calls from a lot of younger people, and I'm not here to say that younger people can't ever get Social Security, because trust me, there are plenty that qualify. But a lot of times they come in to me and say, well, I've never done a desk job. But then I look at them and I have to go back to their education and their training. Okay, well, you graduated high school, you attended 2 years of community college, you had a job that even though you were doing heavy lifting, you were having to use the computer and fill out paperwork. That's going to be hard for me to show that you can't do sedentary type work unless you have problems with your hands. And memory.
So if you have questions about your rights, we'll give Catherine and her team a call, 1-800-BARBAS-LAW, or go to barbaslaw.com/knowyourrights.